You go around, you see the bartender that you're familiar with, who you had spoken with earlier, and sort of just gives you a nod as he sees you sort of on a mission. Walking.
Grabs his coat on the way out, but
walks, and you walk out onto the balcony outside the bar, and over where you saw those stones, you see a rough staircase on the outside of the tower leading up. Doesn't seem to be blocked off, just seems to be there. Light cistern stones are on it, so it is lit.
I put my hand out over the cistern stones and the railing and just casually saunter up there.
You
being wary and trying to figure out if this...
Well, yeah, the fog is very thick. The cistern stones are keeping it a little bit clear.
Yeah.
And you arrive after 3 turns and sort of going across a top crenellation. You arrive at an open area. Yeah, it's 10 stories up.
How did he get past this? How did he walk for days on end?
And yeah, doing stairs you're not used to, as you normally would just teleport your way around. But as you catch your breath, you then notice something. You look straight up through probably 100-foot cylinder of fog and see the clear sky. Perfectly clear night sky directly above this area. You hear a voice as they see sort of the look on your face. First time, huh? That's why they call it the Windward Star. It's the only place you can see the stars always here in Falcon's Crest.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Quite.
It's good to just see them for what they are, not know what they are. It's nice. It's beautiful. Hi. Vidar Lycran. Hi. I look over to the person talking to me.
Yeah, you see an older looking half-elf. Sort of simple clothing, mainly cloth. Doesn't seem to be armed in any way. Leaning on a sort of a staff. It's gnarled. And shakes your hand. Says, hello. Give me 1 second. Where is it? Murdoch.
Murdoch?
Mm-hmm.
Murdoch, it's nice to meet you.
You as well.
Is this... So the only place in Falcon's Crest is this one little point. It's one little beautiful point. Do you come up here often?
When I can. Not always.
That's fair. Is there what's the moon phase like at the moment?
You're only 3 days past the new moon. You're only, Vidar's 3 days old. So it's just barely a sliver.
Oh, does he? Oh, yeah. I think unconsciously, he, just on his, I'm imagining him being Murdoch being to the left of him for some reason.
Okay.
And just subconsciously, without even really knowing or meaning to, Lara just kind of materializes onto his hip. there's just something about the moon that just radiates that he belongs to be in view of the moon.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, there, even though it's just a sliver of moonlight, you can see Lyle, glow with sort of this unnatural penumbral light around it, as Lysithea is the forged eclipse on the darkest phases of the moon. Lysithea has the most power.
Just gonna jot that down. Thank you. Where do I go from there? So, Mark, what is it that you do here? Sorry, it was just all of a sudden I was just meditating and brought myself up here.
Murdoch sort of looks at you, sort of stares at you for a little bit, kind of wondering about you, and just says, this and that. Work mainly up in Sentinel Row.
Huh. That's, yeah. Just dropping letters by, or with the stone craftsmanship?
This and that.
Yeah, okay. That's where I got this. That's where I was inspired to have this coat created, actually. Having a nice little stroll through there.
It's quite nice.
Well, thank you. I'm not sure how much it cost. Mr. Linford made sure his best tailor got to us. Yeah. It was nice. Moon's a strange thing, isn't it?
They say it affects people different ways. I look to the stars myself. Lots of stories about stars.
Yeah. I could tell you a couple of things about those stories, about those stars. But... you ever heard of the 7 cradles? 7 stars all set together. And he gives him a bit of a smile.
He looks at you sort of blankly. Can't say that I have.
Coldest, darkest part of the sky. These seven stars. Responsible for all those other stars. And for the star that burns by the sun. In a way. Not entirely. Not entirely, but helped from that origin. I think to Lyle. Is that right?
Yeah,
I think I'm
close enough.
Yeah, fair.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. He'll be fine. He'll believe it. I think.
He actually seems to be looking at you fairly raptly that you know these things.
Do I have something on my face?
No, just... I've been looking for a star myself.
Go on.
He points up at the sisters.
Knew it. Ah, the sisters. Yeah. I know about them.
Do you? What do you know? What? And really eagerly belying how sort of nonchalant and before. about this.
Can I do a quick check over to see if there's like any visible marks on their body, like a badge or anything, or is
Do
it just
me an
all
insight
nonchalant?
check.
Yeah, I just want to get a little bit of peek at this person's intention. Ah, they seem friendly enough, don't they?
Seem perfectly friendly.
Yeah.
Just intent, very intent, curious, maybe a scholar of some sort.
You see, there's one star. It's missing.
Eyes
Not
go
missing.
wide.
They call it veiled. Now, how it's veiled, not a lot of people know. When it's unveiled, there's a few things. Say during the convergence. From what I've read, magic goes dark sometimes. And I believe it's caused those three.
As you look back over, Murdoch's not standing there. You see a familiar boy. It's Sethander. And his eyes are almost watery, and he goes, "That's what I'm looking for. The sailors, my..."
Sethander. Hey.
Sethander, the pirate. He knows a story.
Okay. A story, you say? Between sailors. Between travelers,
Sethander.
stories are important.
Well, Sethander says, if you can find the veiled sister, she can change your fate. All sailors know that. See, I don't want to be... He looks at himself. Me. They say the veiled sister can change that.
In a world where you could be anyone, and you don't want to be yourself, and in a world where one doesn't know who or what they are, so they don't have to return to what they once were. I think between us we'll be seeing a lot more of each other as a Thunder. But I do feel once you find that veiled maiden star, she can do that. Oh yeah. She can absolutely change fates.
He sort of... Go ahead.
The sailors, the stories, they're important to keep alive and true. He just looks down at him. Who do you want to be?
Anyone else.
Hold on to that spine. Familiarize yourself with it. Where do you want to go?
I want to own a shop. That's what I'd really like. But people like me, we don't own shops. Everyone says, be who you are. And if I'm who I am, then I don't want to be a courtesan. That's not, freedom. That's not people accepting you. It means that people use you for what you
What
are.
they want. Yeah. I get a feeling. I get a small little connection with you about that. You may not think it, but I do. I have a friend, you see. Very well wanted. To what extent, I have no idea, but he's done something. I don't know if it's good or bad, but he's done something. Sparkly friend, indeed. Sparkly friend. How do you do it? How do you change your face? How do you echo? Do they have to still... How does it work?
I've just always been able to. It's just you slip into someone else. And if I'm really quiet when I'm inside, I'm just not even me anymore. I let them just... You see sort of on his face this sort of very calm, I just let myself fade away.
With that calmness, I'm going to put a hand like just on your shoulder blade. A soft, gentle touch of just comfort. Like to establish a physical connection to be like the comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite? Is there any single one, any echo, any one soul that you just connect with?
Well,
try focus on that one.
Sethander, of course.
Do you want to be a sailor?
He's got great stories, and you should see him with his swords.
It sounds alright. I know someone whose story's fairly new. His first chapter's being written as we speak. He's got an entire book to finish. But he can't write it, you see. So if you don't want to... So if someone else wants to pick up on the writing, I'm sure they'll be fine with it. I'm going to try like give him a wink to try see if he gets the meaning of the gist. Oof.
On the nat 20 insight check, he looks at you and his eyes sort of get wide. And you're dying. He slams the talon back at you. You're just using me like everybody else, and takes off running down the stairs.
Vidar cries, staring at the moon.